Hey everybody, here's a quick lecture on how we read and how we can read more better. I'm only going to be looking at one line from the book Spirit Run by Noé Alvarez. And I think just by looking at one line, you'd be surprised how much there can be to unpack. My technique on reading or teaching reading is pretty simple. It's not something I got by studying a PhD or anything like that. It's just lots of experience and teaching years. So it's a kind of a three-level process is the way I see it. This is the world according to Ted. We take a look here. I see, to simplify things a bit, reading is kind of a three-level process. There's the first level of comprehension, just understanding literally what it says. So sometimes if you don't know a word that you're reading or you don't know the context, that's when you get that feeling of a reader is like, I don't know what's going on. Like if you're at a Shakespeare play and they're talking and you see them talking, you know they're speaking English and you have no idea what they're saying. If you don't get that comprehension level, you'll never get all the subtleties or enjoy the play. You won't be able to interpret what it means or even on the deepest level understand how it's working as a work of art. So that can be tough. That sometimes just that first comprehension level is the hardest part. And if you don't get past that level, you won't get to level 2 and 3. So that first level is, what does it say? Like basically, could you summarize what you're reading? And the second one is interpretation. This speaks to the word theme. What does it mean? What is it doing in a sense? And the third level, which is the deepest and most complex level of reading, is formal analysis, how a piece of writing works. Okay, so when we read, how is it working? How is it manipulating us as readers? Another way to look at this is you could say that the first level is literal, the second level is figurative, like or as, kind of metaphorical kind of thinking, thematic, and the third level being formal. Okay, so let's kind of jump right in here. The books that we're going to be using, the book we're going to be using is Spirit Run. We have the first line. I did a little messing around here with some screenshots of a Kindle version, and I'll let you later read the first page, but let's look at the first line. Even the sun yields to the massive gray structures dominating the small town of Selah, Washington. My home state, y'all. So what does that first line do for us? So on this first level, we're just kind of understanding what does it mean, even the sun yields to the massive gray structures. And here's the comprehension. On the literal level, what do we see? We see structures that appear bigger than the sun. This must mean that it's early morning or late at night and the sun is just near the horizon. To get the literal meaning, we've got to understand the word yield. What's he doing with this word? Just as with traffic sign, to yield is to get out of the way of someone or someone who has the right of way, in a sense, to give them more power. In my dictionary, lists one meaning of yield as to give way under force or pressure. Okay. Second level, here we see the theme of the large and powerful dominating the small. The structures are massive and the town is small. Those are the word choices that Alvarez uses. And third level, there's a lot of places we can go with this. I'll kind of start easy and get a little bit hard, I suppose, at the end. One thing that this does for us, how this writing is constructed, is first of all, it puts us in a place, establishes the setting. Number two, as I kind of mentioned already, the author uses words like yield, massive, dominated, and small, all in one sentence. So there's a lot going on here to suggest that the fruit companies are powerful. They have power over the small, that is the workers. So I'm kind of dipping back into level 3 reading here, and there is a lot of crossover when you do this. It's not, reading isn't as discrete as I'm making it right now. There's a lot going on all at once. So when we discuss how the writer built that theme, then we're analyzing at the third level. Okay, Noé Alvarez's word choices are not accidental. He's building theme, he's constructing meaning, and he's manipulating us. And I mean that in a good way. And finally, here's the more kind of, I would say probably the most complex thing I'll discuss. So if you don't feel like you have a handle on point of view and what it means, don't worry about it. You can learn it later in life. Okay, the author uses an objective third-person point of view rather than the first-person I point of view. And it's a subtle effect. Alvarez does not start the chapter with, I saw the massive gray structures dominating the landscape. The effect of this move is to definitely, it's definitely subject to interpretation. And that's why English classes are fun, because everyone can kind of interpret things a little bit differently. As I see it, I think Alvarez is making sure to portray himself as small, as among the many workers. The effect is that he's less self-important, he's more humble, and more a part of that world. He's one piece in the big puzzle. He's one thread in the tapestry, one among the masses. So that's kind of like analyzing a very technical aspect of writing the point of view. So that's kind of how it works. That's why we're at level 3. Okay, but we can't get to level 2 and level 3 if we don't get to level 1. So sometimes that means you got to look up words in the dictionary. Other times you'd have to just guess them. I will close this little session here by just giving you the first page and let you read it, and then invite you to dive into the text and be like, wow, if I can do that with one sentence, the first sentence, I must be able to do it with a paragraph, with more sentences. Okay, so have fun with this.